Thank you, Nili. Thank you so much. Yes, these are very practical questions. The one is that the say immediate response, long-term response, and sometimes the immediate response and long-term response can also be like say the meeting. They can be a common solution to the immediate and the long-term both. Sometimes some immediate, not necessary for long-term, some long-term, not necessary for immediate. So what should we do? This is a question. Number one is that I would say this first. Let me quickly explain the little bit related to the long term, and also you will understand it. I would say as a nation, defense is very important. As a nation, for example, why Tibet was a problem. This is our mistake, our total mistake. And fully just engrossed in one thing and forgot that you have a nation. And we forgot that. This is our weakness. This is our weakness. Because of this, now the Tibetans, we end up in this situation. Very sad. So as a nation, of course, the border is so important. And they say, we cannot blame your leaders. We cannot fully blame the others also, because if you have a very firm border, issues will not come. This is very important. When I first heard this, the news, I thought that I know. I traveled to Israel, and then the border, I know what it is. So the border somehow, so for example, I remember at the small monastery, the head of the monastery, he spent a lot of money on the border of the small monastery. And everybody was saying that you are shelling all the money that you have on the border to protect your monastery. And how can you construct the monastery? So he said that it doesn't matter, it will happen. Later on, once the border meaning the compound for the monastery was done, very stable, no danger for, no ambiguity left. Others intruding in it is just amazing, so wise. This is one thing. So this from our mistake of Tibet, back since like 100 years, 200 years, 300 years ago. This was a mistake of Tibet. So now look at Tibet's situation. So pathetic. So the only great thing, two great things now Tibet has. One is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. This is something so unique leader of the world. And the mistake is many generations of mistake. No the border protection. No border security. This is a mistake, a heavy mistake. And then with Tibet, I would say that just be in the cocoon. That was a mistake. I'm Tibetan. I'm saying this. Being the cocoon, not being exposed to the outside world. So see, you should have seen what the outside world is doing. There was a big mistake made. So what Tibet is today is all because of that. So the mistake should not be repeated. Then number two is that, so this kind of problems, when will it stop? We can talk about the immediate measures, but we also have to think of the long-term measures. So for the common people, they think of the immediate measures. But people who are more thoughtful, who have the brilliance, you have a huge responsibility to think of the long-term measures. Don't just get caught up with the short-term measures. Because with the short-term measures, only people will look for the conflicts, fights. That is a consequence. Not only Israelis, so major, the big loss of lives and disasters. Likewise on the other side, how many millions of people are affected? We have to think of both. So this is the where something is wrong. Where lies the mistake? This is what we have to think of. So if this is how the short term, like small children, this is how they behave. This is how they behave. So they say a person who lives in a glass house should not throw stones. So where, say, neighbors, we should think of how to live harmoniously. and how do we live harmoniously. If we don't know how to do that, we learn from others. Otherwise, that's just the immediate gratification. Immediate gratification can be adversely counterproductive in ways that in the future, other side can attack you. Again, you will attack them. There's ongoing onslaughts happening. Very dangerous. So the common people and the more intelligent people should be looking for a long-term solution. This is so important. It's for this reason that His Holiness the Dalai Lama always says that the world is interdependent. World is interdependent, meaning that this is amazing. So earlier, I could not really understand this. I would say that His Holiness is too good, that he's thinking of, seeing the world as the children, his own children. So therefore, this is what he's saying. He's thinking of, creating happiness everywhere. And then now I see that yes, where you don't think of the other side, anytime you become weak, you will be attacked. So what's the solution? Long-term solution we should really need to think of, particularly people like you who are more interested in the spiritual, which means that you are thinking of something broader than what the immediate measures, the gratification. So what the solutions His Holiness has proposed? Universal ethics, modern education, produce today's leaders. When they say what today's leaders are is determined by the modern education. If the modern education is incomplete, the leaders will be incomplete. With leaders incomplete, the people will suffer. This is a reality. So now the leaders incompleteness in the thinking of the leaders, which means the education which produced them, that is incomplete. Incomplete in what way? Say, modern education is the legacy of the Industrial Revolution, where we require the physical energy, physical mind, and the brain to create sophisticated industries, sophisticated machines, so that mass production. No heart is not required. Mass production, that is a priority. Now is a very different time. His Holiness says that this is the problem. When the heart is missing, now all the wars are happening. This is where, so how can you blame these people when they are produced by an education system which does not involve the heart, which does not encourage the heart? So now His Holiness is proposing a system to complement this modern education with the education for the heart. Not only education of the brain, but education of the heart, side by side. So it is for this reason that His Holiness has proposed today the universal ethics taking the shape of social, emotional, ethical learning. And this is for the world, not only for Tibet, not only for Buddhists, it's for the world. So the people who will be produced by this system will know how to embrace others with love and affection, will know how to give hands to others, to lift the other person, and the other person will give you hands to lift you up from miseries. So this is what is lacking. As long as this is not happening, the world will continue to suffer like this, to and fro, to and fro, to and fro. This will continuously happen, and it will never come to an end. One day, A will be the winner, B will be the loss. The next day, the B will be the winner, A will be the loss. For example, Tibet. In 7th century AD, Tibetan king Songtsen Gampo, he was so powerful that he invaded many parts of the Asia. And today, where is Tibet? Almost like even that word Tibet is going out of the globe. This is the reality. So therefore, if we resort to the violence, this is the consequence. There is never a permanent solution. There's never a resolution happening. Whereas if you can change the system which is responsible in producing the future generations, if that system becomes complete system to encourage brain development as well as heart development, then we can hope for a better, peaceful world. This is one thing. Then the next thing, now the immediate measures. What should we do in immediate? For the immediate, I would say that the yes, whatever you think is good for the nation, do it, not encouraging more wars. Try to minimize the wars. One. Then in terms of yourself, same, instead of thinking about, thinking about this constantly, instead of thinking about this constantly, think about something which will distress you. Only when you distress yourself, not to think too much about this. For example, like here in Tibet House during the COVID, there was the elderly lady here. And then the elderly lady was every day watching the news on COVID. She was so panicky. And I said that, and then she saw me, and she saw me that I was not panicky. So, Gishal, how come that you are not panicky? The world is like this. I said, what's the benefit of you becoming panicky? Are you happy becoming panicky? I'm very happy not becoming panicky. Are you happy becoming panicky? She said, no, right? You have to know the news. You have to know what's going around the world. But you don't want to make you panicky. How? Don't watch the news too much. Watch the news adequate enough to be well informed. Beyond this, don't try to disturb your mind too much. So likewise, it's so important for us to know what's going around. This is so important. Don't be too naive. Meanwhile, think of calming yourself down. If you are calm, people around you will be calm. Even though they're disturbed, they see you and they see that, okay, Nili is very calm, right? And Nili is naive. No, she's not naive. She knows what's going around. But she's very calm. How about the calm that she's able to maintain calmness? Because she's not going after all this information too much. She's more into know the information, plus do meditation, reading some materials to uplift yourself. So this is required. And then see how to encourage others also. Encourage others also to do a little bit of, be aware. This is very important. Don't be too naive. We have to know the reality. Know the reality well, and whatever the government instructs you to save, go for security, or the protect yourself, make sure that you take the appropriate measure to protect yourself. Meanwhile, don't what is that? Don't let your mind go after these thoughts too much. Instead, do a little bit of meditation. What can be done? What can be done by yourself to at least to keep yourself calm and your family calm? That is so important. Good.